makers of Postum, the favorite mealtime drink in millions of American homes, present those two lovable old characters from the hill country, Lum and Abner. You know, when a man has a hard time getting to sleep at night, he's more likely to worry about the effect it will have on his work next day. But a woman, and I think you'll agree, is apt to worry more along this line.
Oh, dear. I can just see myself tomorrow, drawn and haggard, my eyes swollen. I'll look terrible. I just must get some sleep.
Different viewpoints, naturally, but both of them essentially true. For sleepless nights, when you spend hours staring miserably up at the darkness, can and do take a double toll, both in your efficiency and your appearance. That's why you should seriously think whether it isn't coffee nerves that's causing your sleeplessness. For make no mistake, while many people can drink coffee without its keeping them awake, many others should never touch it. Let me suggest, if you think coffee keeps you awake, that you switch to Postum. You see, since Postum contains no caffeine or stimulant of any kind, it's impossible for it to disturb your rest. And Postum's such a delicious drink, with such a tantalizing, fragrant aroma, smooth, mellow flavor, you'll find it's as delightfully satisfying as any mealtime drink you ever tasted. So, if coffee robs you of sleep, drink Postum instead. See if you aren't sleeping better, even in a few days. And after a couple of weeks, see if you aren't getting a really full night's sleep every night. Switch to Postum. There's a reason. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, last week, Lum, who had been taken to Little Rock for questioning by the government on the charge of having operated an illegal post office, ran off while the committee was considering evidence, and is now in hiding in the feed room of the Jot'em Down store. As we look in on the little community today, it's early morning. Abner is just entering the feed room. Listen.
Come on back, Lum. It's me.
Abner, I told you not to come busting through that door without telling me who it is. Thank you. I might not have heart failures every time you do it.
I wish you could have saw yourself. You look like a cat diving through a hole in the fence the way you went under that stack of hay.
Well, we've got to get some signals of some kind so as I'll know when it's you coming in. Granny, spend half my time crawling out from under the store.
Under the store?
Yeah, I've got a hole cut through the floor back under that stack of hay there now to where I can go clean down under the store.
Well, when did you do that?
Yesterday afternoon. I never had nothing else to do, and taking a saw and cut a hole in it.
Well, I do know.
Hey, have you saw any policemen around town this morning looking for me?
No, not a soul.
Yeah, you watch everybody comes in the store out there now. If you see any strangers coming in, just shut the door on them.
Yeah, I will.
They'll more likely be wearing a disguise of some kind. Watch out for Chinamans and old men with long beards and Indians and such as that.
Well, what about Grandpa Masters? He's got a long beard. I seen him standing out there on the street a while ago.
Well, you know him. I mean fellas with false whiskers.
Well, I can't go up and pull everybody's whiskers, see if they're false or not.
Well, if some stranger comes up and starts asking you about your questions, just don't answer them.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's nobody here looking for you, Lum.
I don't know. I heard bloodhounds baying all night last night. The dragnet's closing in, I can tell that.
Oh, Lord me, I heard that dog. That was that hound there, the Sea-Strongs. He always howls that way whenever we have a full moon.
I wished I'd have knowed it. I laid here scared to death all night.
You did?
I've always heard dogs bay that way just for somebody, well, I better not say it. Gives me the creeps to think about it even.
Huh?
Nothing. It's a bad sign, though.
Yes, huh?
Is there any notices around, rewards or anything like that for me?
No, I ain't saw none.
It does look like it offers something for me. Been any articles in the paper?
Not a word, no. They're taking a mail carrier's job away from you, though.
They did?
Yeah, give it to Luther Phillips. You never showed up for 3 days to carry it, so Well, they had to do something.
Yeah, well, I don't care. Never liked the job, no way. I'm mad at the government. I don't want to work for 'em.
Well, what are you going to do, Lum? You can't spend the rest of your life hiding back here in the feed room.
I don't know. It's what's got me worried.
Well, you had no business running off in the first place. That's where you made your mistake.
No, where I made my mistake was ever putting in a post office. Goodness, I never knowed the government was so cranky about them things. They had enough charges against me to send me to the penitentiary for the rest of my life.
Well, why didn't you stay there? You might have talked them out of it, Lum.
Well, I don't know. They left me out there in that little room by myself while they was having a meeting about me, and I don't know. First thing I know, I'd wandered outside, and then before I knowed it, I was on my way home.
Well, it's going to be just twice as bad on you whenever they do catch you.
I know it. That's the reason I can't afford to let them catch me now.
Well, this is the first place they'd start to look for you, Lum, right here in Pine Ridge.
Yeah, but don't know nobody but you and Grandpap know I'm here.
Oh, well, they'll find you eventually, Lum. First time you get outside, why, somebody will see you and report it.
I ain't going to get outside. I'm going to stay right here till this thing blows over. And then I'm going to try to make it across the border.
What border?
Over in Oklahoma, I reckon.
Well, that's still in the United States, ain't it?
That's right. Grannies, I'll go to Mexico. That's where I'll go. I read a book once where a fella went down there. Started a revolution.
You going to start a revolution in
I don't
Mexico?
know what I'm going to start. Something.
Well, what you going to do down there? You got to have some way to live.
I know I ain't going to put in no post offices. I know that.
I still think it'd be a heap better if you just go give yourself up, Lum. You oughtn't to come home in the first place. That ain't no way to do. Run off.
Yeah, but if I go back now, it'll be twice as hard on me. I don't know what to do. I never meant no harm to what I done.
I know it.
Never even knowed it was against the law. All I know, all of a sudden, I'm a hunted criminal.
Yeah, you're that all right.
Laying back here all day, feared they're going to catch me any minute. Every time I hear the least little noise, jump way halfway out of my skin.
Oh, I never seen you so nervous.
Sit down here in the dark of a night by myself, can't sleep, get nervous and jumpy. I can't hardly control myself.
Yeah, I know. I wish there was something I could do. I hate to see you living back here and down under the store like a varmint of some kind. You ain't sold yourself long, but you look a sight since you cut off your mustache. Whiskers all growed out there to where a feller would know you. You just ought to see yourself.
Yeah, I wish I could get out here and clean up. But I just can't change it, Abner. I'm so hungry, I'm about to starve to death.
Hungry?
Yeah, I slipped out there in the store after dark last night and had a lunch, but I need some hot grub.
Yeah, I seen some empty cans up there on the counter. Say, what was that empty can of dog food doing sitting there?
Dog food? Oh, my goodness. Was an empty can of corned beef up there?
I never seen none.
Granny, that's what a fella gets for feeling around in the dark. I'll be dead blame. Worst part about it, I liked it.
Don't get 2 or 3 more cans of that, and I'll be taking you squirrel hunting, Lum. You know what? That beard of yours grows another day or two. You're going to favor Hairdale anyway.
Yeah, I reckon you could go over to Luke's Beers and get me a steak and some hot cakes and scrambled eggs and fried potatoes. Granny, I could eat a water bucket full of stuff.
Well, I offered to bring you something down from the house yesterday, and you wouldn't let me.
Well, I was feared Elizabeth might get suspicious.
Well, Luke's going to get suspicious, too, me carrying a big plate of grub out of there. He knows I eat at home.
Tell him you're bringing it over here to feed a dog.
Oh, well, he knows I'm not going to feed a steak and scrambled eggs and hot cakes to a dog. I might bring you some scraps.
Let it go. I'll eat some more corned beef. I'll find something. If I had a skillet, I could cook some stuff over this little oil heater here.
Why, sure, that's the thing to do. Yeah, I'll get you a skillet and bring it over here. And you can get eggs and bacon and stuff like that right out of the store.
Yeah, that's the time. Then I'm going to figure out some way to escape out of here. Tell you, I've just... Wait a minute.
Huh?
Be quiet. Was that somebody coming in front of the store?
I never hear nothing.
You better go see, and don't let nobody come back here in the feed room now.
No, I won't. Well, howdy, Dick.
Oh, hello, Abner. Just wondering if there's anybody here.
Yeah, when did you get in town?
I just got in this morning.
Where's Lum?
Who?
Lum. Haven't you seen him?
Oh, why, he went over to Little Rock last week.
Yeah, I know. I saw him over there. I went in before the post office inspector to talk in Lum's behalf, and when we came out, he'd gone.
Gone?
Yeah, disappeared. Ran off. I just suppose maybe he came on home.
Oh, well, he must be hiding somewhere. They had him charged with enough stuff to send him to the penitentiary for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I know they did. Him running off didn't help matters any either, I'll tell you that. I had an awful time talking him out of it.
Talking him out of it?
Yeah, I explained the whole thing to the inspector. Told him that he was just trying to help the mail service here in Pine Ridge and was violating the law and all, and, well, he finally agreed to... And we came outside to tell him, and he was gone.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. You mean they ain't looking for him or nothing?
No, that's what I wanted to tell him.
Well, come on, let's go back there and tell him, and Dick, he's just been worried to death about it.
Back where?
Oh, he's hiding back there in the feed room. He made me promise I wouldn't tell nobody he's here. But come on, let's go tell him the good news.
No, wait a minute, Adam, wait a minute.
Huh?
My Jackson, he's getting out of this too easy.
Too easy?
Yeah, Lum's always getting himself into these scrapes. Now, it's up to us to teach him a lesson.
Lesson?
Yeah, someday he's liable to get into a scrape that nobody can help him out of. Let's see. Tell you what, let's just don't tell him that you know a thing about it. Just let on but what they're still looking for. Let him stay back there for a few days and sweat. Jack, he'll think twice before he gets himself into another jam. I'll tell you what you can tell him. Tell him that the government men are here in town and they're combing this whole section of the country for him.
I know that's a good idea, Dick. I'll scare the everlasting daylights out of him.
Well, let's hope they tell the old fellow before he strikes out for Mexico. Aren't you mothers tempted every so often to go easy on some youngster who doesn't happen to like milk and puts up a fuss about drinking it? Well, it's only natural. It does get tiresome to have to argue and coax with your little milk rebel all the time. But even that isn't necessary, because as thousands of smart modern mothers have discovered, children who don't like plain milk are just crazy about postum made with milk. And after all, how can youngsters help liking it? For postum is so tempting and mellow, and on top of that looks just like a real grown-up's drink. You mothers will be happy to know, too, that postum, which is simply roasted whole wheat and bran, slightly sweetened, contains no harmful stimulants of any kind, and it can't spoil a child's appetite for other foods, because it's totally unlike those heavy, over-rich drinks. So tomorrow, give your children a treat. For without coaxing or nagging of any kind, the youngsters are only too glad to drink their full quota of milk when you tempt them with delicious postum made with milk. Try it, mothers. You'll see. Don't forget, friends, come along with us next Wednesday evening at this same time when we again go visiting Pine Ridge with Lum and Abner, who say, many a woman is leading a double life, her own and her neighbor's. Lou Crosby speaking. And remember, postum, your best bet for a good night. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.